Dynamic duos in rap are nothing new. Drake and Lil Wayne, Young Thug and Gunna, Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy. All these duos have reached massive success in rap and put out hits for many years. But what happens just as often are the duos that were once partners in crime that fall apart, going from dynamic duos to what ifs, leading to the question, why does this happen? My name is Rashad Bashir, and today we'll be talking about rappers who went from best friends to enemies. The first duo who went from best friends to enemies is none other than A$AP Rocky and Space Ghost Perp. Today, pretty much no mainstream rap fan knows who Space Ghost Perp is, but a decade ago, him and A$AP Rocky were a dynamic duo who inspired each other and changed rap, inspiring rappers like XXXTentacion and many more. For a while, it looked like they were going to do it side by side. However, before we talk about them falling out, how did they meet and even become that close in the first place? It's 2011 and Space Ghost Perp was the leader of Raider Clan and had just released one of the most influential rap projects of the decade, Blackland Radio 666. He was truly ahead of his time and was making waves out of Florida. He ended up influencing many artists, but there was one rapper in particular who really liked Perp's music, A$AP Rocky. Rocky was a huge fan and had discovered Perp through Tumblr. He would start dressing like Perp and incorporating Perp's style in his music, wearing all black clothes, gold grills, and using trippy samples in his music. So Rocky, a huge fan of Perp, reached out and told Perp to come out to New York, and Perp thought, why not? And headed to New York. They hit it off, becoming great friends, and during their short time together, Perp and Rocky had incredible joint performances, freestyles on YouTube, and just music together. Quickly, they became like family. Perp would call Rocky his twin, and they would even call their hip-hop duo Twins, and were supposed to drop a collab project together.
It's my twin, Space Ghost in situation. That's the name of our duo group, like Nas Barkley. We wanted aliases, so that's why we use different names. The name of us is Twin, and it stands for Too Wild, Ignorant.
Perp was even
that mama every day. She took me in her crib when I was at her crib. Oh, wow. She was feeding me. She was making sure I was good.
And in an interview with Complex, Rocky said that they would share dinner plates. Rocky even told Perp that he changed his life, and Perp appreciated the love. And things were only going well for this duo. In October of 2011, Perp and Rocky performed together at a club called Santos. Drake was in the crowd, and he was trying to sign Perp and Raider Clan to OVO, as well as Rocky. At the end of the month, Rocky dropped Live Love ASAP, with SGP featured on 2 tracks. It became a huge mixtape for rap, and it launched Rocky into stardom, and landed him a massive $3 million record deal. Perp, he would see more mainstream success as well, making 2 appearances on Juicy J's mixtape, and even produced for other mainstream rappers like Wiz Khalifa. So things were looking very promising for both Perp and Rocky's careers. But it didn't take long for tensions to arise. It all started when Rocky's group, A$AP Mob, started to feel like SGP and Raider Clan were riding their popularity, and Perp's group started to feel like A$AP Mob was biting their style. SGP was also feeling pressure to sign to Rocky's label, and eventually declined it, which made things even more tense. Then, out of the blue, Perp and someone from Rocky's group began beefing, and Rocky even dissed Perp's group, Raider Clan, in one of his songs, Yao Ming, claiming that Perp had gotten his style from him when it was the other way around, saying, "Them Raiders be like haters, think where you got your style from. You guys as old as my little man." And in April of 2012, Rocky's group, A$AP Mob, played an unreleased Space Ghost Perp song at Coachella. Perp was furious. But soon after, they took to Twitter, and all of a sudden the beef was squashed. So things were good, right? Unfortunately, they would only remain on good terms for a short while, and a very small event would rekindle the beef. Months earlier, at one of Rocky's and Perp's shows, a heckler was in the crowd, and SGP, along with a few members of Rocky's group, decided to give the fan the beats. This event didn't really mean anything at the time, but months later, that fan that Perp gave the beats to decided to press charges, and Perp was in Miami, visiting his family. Members of A$AP Mob accused Perp of running from the police, despite him being unbeknownst to the charges, and when he found out, he told them he turned himself in.
He was trying to sue us. It was like, you gotta turn yourself in to the police. I turned myself in, like, for one day, they ain't.
Yeah. But Rocky told him otherwise.
So I told Rocky, I said, I'm gonna turn myself in. He's like, nah, twin, don't do that.
Members of A$AP Mob still decided to call him out.
Talking about he had from the police and Police? I'm out here with my family, bro. What you mean? Like, I called his phone, I said, fool, how the I'm having the police? When I told you I was gonna turn myself in, I went back up there to finish that. Right. I turned myself in, like that shit ain't nothing.
Members of A$AP Mob still decided to call him out. To him, it was clear.
Some was in his ear. I wasn't there. Some was in his ear saying, I'm hiding from the police.
So the beef wasn't that serious until now. Most of it was just through the internet, and there wasn't any serious bad blood. Just tensions between SGP and his group and Rocky and his group. But unfortunately, things got real when a member of ASAP Mob jumped someone from Perp's group at a party in New York. And Perp claimed this meant war. He felt betrayed after everything he did for them, claiming he only wanted the best for everyone in both groups. He tried to resolve the beef over the phone with Rocky, but Rocky told him to off, and afterwards, Perp posted a video claiming he had severed ties with Rocky and the mob. Rocky responded to SGP in a red carpet interview at BET, where he said,
"Days goes Perp, man. What's going on with that, B?"
F him, straight up, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to lie to people, pumping that we took styles from him, and I mean, if you really look at it, the proof is in the pudding. He's corny, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, stick to making beats, that's all I gotta say.
And for some reason, even Soulja Boy was dissing SGP. But the beef with ASAP Mob was far from over. A few months later, ASAP Rocky performed at Miami with Schoolboy Q, Perp's hometown. Perp and his group were banned from the show, but they showed up outside anyways. Schoolboy Q saw them outside and called the police, while Rocky stayed inside his tour bus. But one of the members of ASAP Mob had a bit more courage. He was practically unknown at the time and bravely jumped the fence to face Raider Clan. He was immediately given a brutal case of the beats, and you could even hear shots. The police eventually showed up and handcuffed Perp, but he was allowed to walk free, and the member that was jumped went on to be ASAP Bari. From there on out, ASAP Rocky and the mob became stars in rap, and the beef with Perp became pretty one-sided, with ASAP Rocky going without mentioning his name for years. And when he finally did, it was out of pity. After that, everything went downhill for SGP. He stepped into the shadows and has remained in the underground for the last decade. His popularity has taken a nosedive, and multiple rappers from his group, like Denzel Curry and Xavier Wolf, were starting to get much bigger than him and eventually had much more successful careers than he ever did. So was Rocky in the wrong? Well, years later, Rocky claimed that
I can never talk about this because I'm blowing up, and if I talk about it, I'm make this put more light on this.
And that all people had to do was look at Perp's own crew.
None of his with him in the crew because they realized that he was manipulating them and, you know what I'm saying, doing all this shit, like.
And said later,
"You lived with us for 6 months, bro. Like, don't make it seem like," you know what I'm saying?
So is Perp or Rocky in the wrong? Honestly, they're both at fault, but Rocky is a bit more in the wrong. Perp is known for his self-destructive behaviors, but Rocky really didn't need to do him like the way he did. But overall, to me, SGP and ASAP Rocky's career as a duo is one of the biggest what-ifs in rap in the past 10 years, and their breakup is pretty sad, and to this day, they're still enemies, or at least Perp sees it that way. The next rapper duo to go from friends to enemies are DDo Osama and DDo. Hailing from the Sugar Hill neighborhood in New York, both DDo and DDo Osama grew around music, and they even appeared in some pretty famous drill rappers' music videos, and had family that had made it in rap. So eventually, after seeing those around them make it pretty big in the drill scene, they both decided to try their hand at rapping. But they weren't alone. They actually had their late best friend, the late Naughty Osama. Naughty was DD's brother, and who they released their first big songs with. Together, their first hit was 2 Act. Today, it sits at 13 million views, and it skyrocketed them to fame in the drill scene as only teenagers, and set the stage for all 3 of them to enjoy some pretty big careers. A couple months later, DD and Naughty dropped Ops, an even bigger hit, sitting at a whopping 20 million views today. DDo wasn't alone either. The year prior, DDo and Naughty dropped a single called Evil Twins, which also did really well. However, tragically, the plans for a music video for Evil Twins were interrupted by Naughty Osama's untimely passing. On July 11th of 2022, Naughty Osama was cornered in a subway station and forced to meet his fate. It became breaking news, and overnight, DDo Osama and DDo were everywhere. It ended up serving as a canon event in their lives and brought them closer, especially DD, who had lost his blood brother. And to show you how close they had gotten, DD described him and DDot's relationship as literal brothers and his heart. But out of all the pain, there were a lot of eyeballs on DD and DDot. Their old songs with Naughty began blowing up, and every song they dropped began to get hundreds of thousands and even millions of views. And in October of 2022, they linked up with Drake. So it looked like they were going up together. But of course, nothing good lasts forever. You see, after Naughty passed, it was a really unfortunate situation, and it affected both DD and DDot. But DDo Osama was the one that got most of the clout, and his career took off. Before that, the sad reality was DDo and DDo Osama weren't really being talked about, but afterwards, Naughty's situation became huge news, and they were buzzing names. DD became a star overnight, getting tons of followers, but more importantly, attention on himself and his music. DDo got some, but he was left in the shadows compared to Osama. They always got into little arguments, like any friends do, but after DD blew up, tensions arose quickly. Osama was becoming really popular, and in public, even though they seemed to be cool, it looked like DD had blown up and left DDo in the hood. And it looked like DDo had seemed to have lost respect for DD. But their beef really began and got heated over a video game, GTA. And I'm not joking. DDo Osama used to help DDo when they played GTA and they'd have fun like normal teenagers. But after tensions began rising between the two, they randomly got into it in GTA while they were both live streaming.
Look for DDo, chat. Oh yeah, he here. My son definitely here.
DD tried to link up with DDo, but DDo pretended to not know him and began taking shots at DD.
What's the word? Oh, why you talking like that? Never who that? Why you talking like that? You on the wrong block. You sure?
You sure I'm on the wrong block?
I'm definitely sure. Why are you talking like that?
They then began going back and forth, and DDo took out DD in the game.
Take his knock.
So DD explained to his fans, who were accusing him of switching up and leaving DDo in the hood, that he wasn't the one who was tweaking like everyone thought.
Yeah, it's not me. I don't know. I be chilling, y'all talking about I'm changing, y'all talking about me this, me that.
But DD was manipulating his fans. The reason DDo did that was because a while ago, DDo Osama's friends Hoodstar Dottie and DD were bullying DDo and throwing him under the bus while playing GTA. DD's friend will also disrespect DDo's father, calling him a rat, spending more than 20 years in jail, and DDo got really mad. And when DD didn't take his side, that's where the beef really started. They also destroyed him in GTA. And remember, everyone was on DD's side because he was the popular one who had blown up. Anyways, later, DD explained he was gonna get back once again and up the score.
I thought it was gonna be like, no. I ain't back.
So they began repping rival gangs that were real, but in GTA. DD and his friend then found DDo and finished him.
Right.
DDo got super mad and then explained he wasn't repping Naughty Gang, his fallen friend, any longer in GTA, and DD and the others took it all as disrespect.
It's not Naughty Gang no more. I took Naughty Gang out to stop trolling. If you want to be Naughty Gang, go over there, bro. Word of my dick, I'm gonna start right now, bro. We're too naughty slow, bro.
His friends tried to speak some sense into him, but DDo didn't care. He was too mad.
Stop. Alright, bro. Stop saying word too naughty on a game, bro, over a game. Stop saying word too naughty over a game, bro. Gangster, bro.
And by that point, their beef had really solidified and they started to hate each other. Fans started making edits of them too, like there were romantic partners breaking up, all of that. So after this, they both began sneak dissing each other. For example, in DDo Osama's song Hard Life, DD made a couple of sneak disses saying, "But they don't love me, I know that they hate me, all this fake love, man, it's driving me crazy." Trying to compare me to a guy that hated on me because it was really Lil Naughty and me in these streets. And in the music video, DDo also said F DD, taking shots at DD as well. But they didn't just stick to sneak disses. Pretty soon, they took to social media. It all began when it was announced that DD was gonna play a set at Rolling Loud in Chicago. But DDo wasn't booked by them. DDo got jealous that DD got booked for Rolling Loud and he wasn't invited. So when Rolling Loud posted pictures saying DDo Osama was supposed to perform, in the comments, DDo posted a laughing emoji, which was valid because what would DD do when DDo's verses in their songs came up? And at this point, they just decided they were going to take to Instagram and let the public see their arguments. DDo Osama's sister went on Instagram and said DDo was jealous and mad and that DDo should wait his turn. And she explained that DDo was disrespecting Naughty.
Your man's not supposed to be your man's brother and you're being funny. Because you're talking about funny little boy.
Somebody got nails.
DDo then posted a picture saying, "This is between me and my brother. He knows what's up." But DD responded by posting a video of someone saying, "You're not my bro." Yeah, awkward. So basically, they started beefing, DD dissed him, and then DDo tried to resolve it, and DD was like, "Nah, you made your bed." And at that point, their families began getting involved. DDo's mom went on Instagram Live. I don't know how she pulled 1,000 viewers, but she went off on DD's sister, telling her to stay out of it. But all of a sudden, DD said there wasn't really beef, and they were grown men now.
We didn't really have beef. It was just like what's up? We just ain't feel me. We just, some saying, but we had beef. So me and my son out here like
fake beef.
So on March 25th, DD finally apologized after everything and they became cool again. Taking to Instagram, he wrote a candid message, at least for a drill rapper. "I'm sorry, my heart. I've been letting the fame get to my head. Man, I just love your soul. I've never hurt you, that's on my soul. We in this stuff together. I love you, gangster. Yeah, sometimes we fall out, but everybody does that. Man, just know that I love you, brother." So they made up and dropped music together. Alright, but in all seriousness, these two genuinely went through a lot of hardship very early in their life, so they definitely deserve every bit of success they've gotten. Whatever your opinion on their music is, I'm glad they're cool now, they have their whole lives ahead of them, and it looks like they're gonna be here for a while. The final rappers who went from best friends to enemies are none other than XXXTentacion and Ski Mask the Slump God. While they were around, they became one of the largest and most iconic duos in rap in the past 10 years. XXXTentacion even became one of the most influential artists of the decade himself. But what a lot of fans forget is during the end, they had gotten into a massive falling out and went from best friends to enemies. So let's get into it. But before we talk about how they became enemies, how close were the two and how did they even meet? Ski Mask and X originally met in 2013 when they both found themselves in a juvenile detention center in Florida. When they first met each other, they were both delinquents, literally, and were doing whatever, but they realized they couldn't do what they were doing forever, and the rest was history. As best friends, they began making waves in underground rap and then the mainstream, putting Florida on the map, dropping countless SoundCloud classics that would eventually become huge songs when the two went mainstream. But of course, as they grew, X became the bigger out of the two, and not by a little, much bigger, dropping music that would go gold and platinum and began to reach wild levels of success. And although that probably created some tension between the two, it wasn't where the rift in their relationship began. It was the accusations of abuse against X that made things awkward between them. Following a series of controversies, including the news of X being dropped from Capitol Records, removed off of all official Spotify playlists, and placed on house arrest, Ski Mask distanced himself from X and it became clear that the two were no longer on good terms. So it was X's behavior which Ski Mask didn't approve of, and like many others around X at the time, distanced himself from him. At the time, X said he's not making music because he was going through a dark time, but after his falling out with Ski, he took to Instagram to say,
"Announcement. If you want me to make music, tell Ski Mask to be my friend again. Tell Ski Mask to be my friend again and I will make music. Tell him to be my friend again."
So X was definitely in the wrong for using his fans to pressure Ski like this. At this point, X was huge and his fans would do whatever he told them. Furthermore, X went on Instagram Live and explained that the people in the industry referring to Ski were taking advantage of him.
An artist and you're trying to work with anyone in the industry, understand that you cannot trust anyone. People that you trust, people that are your friends, people that are close to you, the people you do business with will always try and f you over. Trust no one. Do not trust anyone. Today was a real f***ed up day for me because people I trusted with my home, people I trusted with my life had shown me today that they can't be trusted.
The thing was, Ski wasn't just some fake rapper X had collabed with in the industry, they were like brothers. So rightfully, Ski was not happy at all. So he sent his own message back, pretty maturely, explaining why he had to do what he did.
I'll always love that alien looking name XXX. But I have to distance myself because it's like nobody would see me as an individual rapper if I don't. On top of that, that's crazy as hell.
So other than X's behavior, Ski had other reasons for separating himself from X, because he thought no one would ever see him as his own individual rapper, knowing he could never really flourish as a sidekick because X was just that mainstream. And he was right, because today, that's what a lot of people see him as. Ski had also left X's group members only multiple times and for good in 2017 for the same reason, because he didn't want to be seen as someone who was only successful because of X, like fans thought of everyone else in the group. But after a while, fans accused Ski Mask of overreacting, so he shed some more details on the situation, saying, "This is a person who has before threatened my family, told me I was supposed to be on some crazy shit. So no, I didn't just separate myself for no reason." So X had designated him for which, if we're being honest, is nothing out of the ordinary from Florida. X went back to Instagram, this time live streaming, to speak on the situation with Ski even more, explaining,
"I want to be myself, and if that means I have to be ugly to look like myself, then I'll be ugly. And honestly, I'd rather be ugly and attract the real people and attract the real people around me than be what everyone wants me to look like and be around a bunch of fake guys that only want to be around me for some clout."
That he was trying to keep away fake people taking a shot at Ski.
Tired of being used. I get used all the time. If you haven't even noticed, I don't even want to be on the internet. as much because of how negative and draining it is.
And finally, reflected on his falling out with Ski.
Friends to help ground you and keep your mind straight. Yes, I mean, for a while, it was only me and my best friend, and it was Ski, and I don't have that, and I don't really have anybody around me I consider to ground me, to be honest. Slump said he would be your friend. I doubt it. I doubt he said that. You can get over this little bump in the road. I hope so. I hope that it's not permanent. But the way he's been feeling has not been feeling good.
He also specifically addressed the situation with Ski and called him ungrateful.
It was just, I guess, a lack of appreciation on his end. Not because of me, I guess just.
And said it was business dealings that got in the way of their friendship.
From a business perspective, but he put a business perspective before a personal relationship. And I've been with him as a friend and as a brother for a very long time, so I mean, it's just on some like other, to be honest. It's not even on some like.
X believed he was fully innocent and that he was taking advantage of Ski, completely dodging what Ski had brought up. A bit earlier, Ski had taken to Instagram to address the beef, and he said he was only successful because of himself.
Hey, listen, ain't nobody write my lyrics for me, bro. Nobody write my lyrics. Nobody forces anybody to like the lyrics that I write. So nobody made me. I made my self. You did that?
And may have even been referring to X's accusation that Ski tried to bring business into their relationship by saying,
He's in that world. Y'all say what's up to my entertainment lawyer. He one of the best out here.
But after all of that was said and done, X took to Instagram to say, and fans thought finally the beef might be over. But just when fans thought it was over, the script was flipped, and X turned on Ski. Regardless of X's behavior to others, he was always there for Ski, standing up for him whenever, even when Ski was in the wrong, and there are countless examples of this. So when Ski distanced himself from X, he felt betrayed. In December of that year, Ski Mask reached out to X and told him he wanted to make music again, and to many fans' dismay, X wasn't having it. He took to Instagram publicly and went on a tirade. My response to the request for the song by Ski is no. I'm going to destroy all of these rappers. None of them are friends to me. They don't give a fuck about me, they just want my energy. Looks like they want my life anyway. So sad that I don't ever use my real power against them. I hold back so much, even with all the weight I have on my shoulders. These lames couldn't keep up if they tried. I will make you regret this decision. This is your final warning. This response was super over the top, and he was making the whole situation out like him and Ski were characters in an anime. So Ski Mask fired back and explained he was just talking about music, not being friends again.
Man, I wasn't saying anything about friendship, man. I was talking about making a song, bro.
So once again, this came as a shock to fans, who thought the beef would be over very soon. But it seemed like their friendship was heading south, and they had grown apart. But just when everyone thought things were bad, randomly on May 13th of 2018, XXXTentacion and Ski Mask reunited at a show in Rolling Loud. And to fans, it looked like things were good again.
Hey! Yo, what the do rag on? Yo, bro, I love you, bro.
I love you too, fam.
I love you, bro. Play that.
But behind the scenes, things were very different. It turned out X didn't believe him and Ski's interaction was genuine, or at least Ski's part, because, and I'm not joking, during a live stream where X was playing League of Legends, he revealed that during his and Ski's interaction at Rolling Loud, Ski's part was fake and wasn't genuine.
That whole interaction was fake as yeah. Well, my part was real, but his was fake.
But things were still heading in a good direction because they were on amicable terms and they definitely would have become friends again. Except, as we all know, in June, just a month after their reunion, XXXTentacion would be gone forever. So their relationship was never truly patched. Afterwards, Ski was distraught, crying on Instagram Live, and he realized that he was in the wrong. So Ski admitted he wasn't thinking right, shouldn't have acted that way, and forgave X. But even though Ski said he wasn't in the wrong, if we're being honest, X had just as much blame as Ski did, but only Ski was alive, so he's the only one who had to live with it. So to set the record straight, I don't really think they were beefing or were on bad terms, to be honest, at the end. They were just in a rut in the relationship, but they definitely did hate each other or were enemies, quote unquote, for a while. Anyways, my name is Rashad Bashir. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.